can't tell you how much having everyone on that line here. I think there was some 500,000 people over the last number of days that let people know how much they care about this across the country. And, you know, I'd love to tell you I did this all on my own. I did it because I had an army behind me. And if anyone ever wonders whether or not there's value in people out there paying attention to these issues, who know what they're talking about, and then willing to share their thoughts with others and creating that dynamic that produced the results today and caused people to change their views. We had literally people a few weeks ago that were standing firm for this legislation with the retroactive immunity, and today got up and took a different position. So I don't want to bother you over the holidays, but all I did today was buy time here. I told them I was going to run that 30th hour clock out, and then I'd offer my amendments, and then depending upon the outcome of those amendments, I was prepared to stand up and talk as my legs would let me to, and push this thing into Christmas Eve if I had to. So I think, frankly, that idea that this would happen, and frankly, we got some great support. Ron Wyden was terrific. Bill Nelson was helpful. Senator Kennedy was a great help and strong. Barbara Boxer was great as well. Sherrod Brown gave a good speech as well on the floor. We had some good people stand up and talk about why this was better. Obviously, Russ Feingold, who's been on top of this for a long time, was great and helpful as well. So we need to really energize now people and say, look, this is just not right. The idea that the President of the United States says he'll veto the FISA bill in order to protect a handful of telephone companies is incredible. I mean, he would lose, and he'd put us at risk, not only our security, but our liberties. He would do both. He was willing to abandon both of those values to protect a handful of phone companies. And that's what really this comes down to. So I think we continue to make that case and drive it. I'll be going back out to Iowa tomorrow, and be obviously pushing and grinding out there. It's an uphill climb. I got to tell you, I really appreciate those of you who are trying to give me a hand and a lift. I'm battling some awfully big money and big celebrity names. But I'd like people to know that this is what it means. This is what leadership is like. Today, when it said we're going to require 60 vote on every single amendment, I didn't have any staff around me. I didn't have a briefing book. I just know by being around, that's violative of the basic rules of the Senate here. I was offering a germane amendment to that underlying bill, and I shouldn't be required to get 60 votes. But that's what this is really all about, and get our country back on track again. So in addition to doing what we have to do here, any help, you don't have any relatives, friends, you went to school in Iowa or New Hampshire, you know, get on the phone and talk to some people and tell them to show up on January 3rd caucus night and give us a lift. But again, I really wanted to say thanks. Happy holidays to everybody. It is the best gift you could have given the country. Telling this administration, finally, we shut the door on this crowd, at least for the next few weeks. And I believe that I'll be right back at it again with you in January. But between now and then, let's build up a majority here so we can defeat these guys and stop the assault on our Constitution. I'm not going to let it ever happen again. Don't you let it happen again. Let's get in it together and make a difference. Let's see if we can also bring a little difference in Iowa and New Hampshire as well. Happy holidays.